Chapter 81. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Well, if it weren't for you, I wouldn't have offended your master. So, in the final analysis, it's because of you that I got beaten. Chen Xuan said. He knew what kind of person Zhou Jingqi was in the setting. She was devoted to the Tao and had no distractions. She rarely had anything that could make her fluctuate. Just like the last time she broke off the engagement, her expression didn't change from beginning to end, except when Chen Xuan pointed at her, so he planned to deliberately act mean, anger her, and make her angry with him. After all, Zhou Jingqi is still a girl now, which is the easiest stage to enter her heart. So he can't let her go. Little did he know that it was because he grabbed Zhou Jingqi's feet in the spring at that time, which made Zhou Jingqi's heart ripple, that Zhou Jingqi gave him the opportunity to act mean, otherwise she probably wouldn't bother to care. How can you blame me for this? Zhou Jingqi widened her eyes and said in disbelief. Why can't I blame you? If it weren't for you, I wouldn't have come to this damn place. I wouldn't have met your master, and I wouldn't have been beaten by her. So, all this is because of you. Chen Xuan said righteously. Wrong logic. It's simply wrong logic. This is your problem, you can't blame me. Wrong logic? How is this wrong logic? It's obviously the fact. If I didn't like you. He stopped here deliberately. It's useless for you to like me. I don't like you. I just want to practice well and break through to the God of transformation. Break through the God of transformation. Why are you so ambitious? Is the ambition still low? Don't you want to know where those cultivators who broke through the God of transformation went? I don't want to know, I only want you. Dream on. People like you who have no ambition, I will never have anything to do with you. Zhou Jingqi's chest heaved with anger. So are you going to break up with Jingyi as well? You, despicable. You definitely don't like Jingyi, right? Don't like Jingyi? Why shouldn't I like her? Jingyi is pretty, lively, cheerful and cute, and she likes me especially. Who wouldn't like a girl like her? But you already have so many wives and concubines. Zhou Jingqi gritted her teeth. So what? I still love Jingyi, and I will marry her home, let her give birth to a lot of babies for me, and pester you, my aunt. You dare. Why shouldn't I dare? Anyway, there is no possibility between you and me, so it's not bad for my child to call you aunt, isn't it? Chen Xuan said meanly. Chen Xuan, I'm going to strangle you to death. After hearing this, Zhou Jingqi flew over and grabbed Chen Xuan's neck, wanting to make him die on the spot. After the girl rushed over, Chen Xuan pretended to be shaky, and then fell directly. Zhou Jingqi directly, the two were very close to each other. Zhou Jingqi could clearly feel Chen Xuan's breath and even smell the faint fragrance on his body. Well, it's not the smell of Chen Xuan. She was stunned for a moment, then her face turned red, and she quickly loosened her hand that was pinching Chen Xuan's neck and wanted to climb up from Chen Xuan. However, Chen Xuan held her hand tightly and didn't let her leave. Zhou Jingqi wanted to break free, but found that Chen Xuan's hand was like an iron hoop and couldn't break free at all. She glared at Chen Xuan angrily and shouted, "Let go!" Chen Xuan not only didn't let go, but also stretched out his other hand and hugged Zhou Jingqi into his arms. Zhou Jingqi's body stiffened instantly, her face flushed, her heart pounding, and she was stunned. She had never been so close to the opposite sex before, and for a moment she didn't know how to react. She wanted to break free from Chen Xuan's embrace, but she felt powerless and could only let Chen Xuan hold her tightly. Chen Xuan saw that Zhou Jingqi still did not respond, so he decided to increase his offensive. Zhou Jingqi suddenly trembled violently, her whole body was stiff, her brain was blank, and she completely lost the ability to think. You are still young. Although you are not stupid, you have too little experience and get angry easily. Isn't it easy to win? Chen Xuan was proud. However, just when Chen Xuan was about to taste the fruits of victory, the door of the room was suddenly knocked. Woo, don't say Chen Xuan, I am willing. I am willing to give birth to a bunch of babies for you. That it was Zhou Jingyi, Chen Xuan and Zhou Jingqi in the room were also stunned. They quickly let go of each other and sat up from the bed. Zhou Jingqi's face flushed, and she whispered, "It's all your fault. What should we do now? Why did Jingyi come here? And how did she know about our conversation? I took the sound transmission stone and came here to test you for Jingyi." Zhou Jingqi's face became even redder. You use this to test cadres? Test me, a gentleman? Chen Xuan was angry. Didn't his confession to Zhou Jingqi have been heard completely? Bah, if you were a gentleman, there would be no villains in this world. Zhou Jingqi was indignant and kicked Chen Xuan with her jade feet. At some point, her shoes had been taken off. Chen Xuan took advantage of the situation to catch Zhou Jingqi's attack, fought back fiercely, and then went to open the door. Chapter 82. You are listening at novelfull.audio. As soon as the door opened, Zhou Jingyi threw herself into Chen Xuan's arms. Wow, I didn't expect that I had so many advantages in your eyes. Chen Xuan, you are really great. No, our Xiaoyi is such an excellent person. I am just telling the truth. Chen Xuan said. Zhou Jingqi on the side curled her lips. Jingyi, are you stupid? He just praised you and said that he wanted to have a baby with you. You are so moved. And, didn't he always say that he likes me? Wow, I also thought that Chen Xuan didn't like me at first. Now I feel more at ease after hearing what he said from his heart. I want to marry Chen Xuan. Okay, what's there to cry about? It won't look good if you cry again. Well, I listen to you. Ahem, your sister and I still have some things to deal with. Xiaoyi, why don't you go back first? Get lost. Zhou Jingqi pushed Chen Xuan with a flushed face. There's nothing going on between you and me. After saying that, he pulled Zhou Jingyi to leave. Hey, if it's okay, then don't leave, right? I haven't treated you well yet, why don't you stay for a while? Zhou Jingqi stopped. This is my home. What can you treat me for? You really don't consider yourself an outsider. Hee, I'm not an outsider anyway, aren't you and Jingyi? Shut up. Zhou Jingqi blushed, raised her foot and stepped hard on Chen Xuan, and walked faster. Zhou Jingyi looked at Chen Xuan, then at her sister, and seemed to understand something. Maybe her own child doesn't need to call her sister aunt. Looking at the two women leaving, Chen Xuan had no choice but to chase them out. Anyway, he was free. Why did you catch up with me? Of course I'm sending the two beauties home, but I'm idle here anyway, so I'll improve my relationship with you. Chen Xuan said with a smile. Who wants to improve my relationship with you? Zhou Jingqi glared at Chen Xuan, but slowed down her pace. I'm just worried that you two girls are not safe outside. This is my home, am I not safe in my home? Zhou Jingqi rolled her eyes at Chen Xuan, even Zhou Jingyi's mouth corners were raised, and she couldn't help laughing. Chen Xuan's excuse was too lame. Hee, you two are the most important people to me, of course I have to protect you two, not one less. Humph. Zhou Jingqi turned her head away, but the corners of her mouth were slightly raised. In this way, the three of them walked side by side. The two sisters were originally talking in a low voice in front, but Chen Xuan shamelessly squeezed into the middle and pulled one with each hand. What are you doing? Zhou Jingqi said unhappily. She tried to shake her hands, but failed to do so, so she let him do it. Although she didn't want to admit it, she really didn't want to do anything to Chen Xuan now. Even when Chen Xuan wanted to drive Zhou Jingyi away and be alone with her, she was a little tempted. Zhou Jingyi looked at the scene and smiled with her mouth covered, but didn't say much. Maybe, the sisters will never be separated. However, as the three of them walked, they really met a child of destiny. Qin Feng was squatting not far from the princess's mansion at this time. He didn't know where he got the map of Zhou's secret realm, and he came here easily, but he didn't dare to go in. He rehearsed the lines he prepared in advance over and over again outside, for fear that he would make mistakes when he really met the goddess. Compared with Lu Yanqin, he liked Zhou Jingqi more, even though the former was his fiancée and she gave him help when he was in trouble. He just liked Zhou Jingqi more. What you can't get will always be a commotion. Although he has never gotten Lu Yanqin, in his subconscious, Lu Yanqin will be his sooner or later. The first time he saw Zhou Jingqi, he fell in love at first sight and fell in love directly. Chen Xuan. How could he appear here? The moment Qin Feng saw Chen Xuan, he was stunned. Why is this person haunting? How can he meet him everywhere? He himself has not provoked him, but he still won't let him go. The next moment, he found something different. Chen Xuan's hand was holding the hand of his favorite goddess, Zhou Jingqi, with his fingers tightly clasped. And his goddess was still shy and embarrassed to be held by him. Ding, the mentality of Qin Feng, the son of luck, is damaged, and the destiny value is rewarded with 500. Ha! Why is Qin Feng's mentality exploded again? Could it be that Han Wanqin has taken action? But the destiny value is too low, it has never been so low. System, how much luck does Qin Feng have left? There are still 12,500 luck values. Once the luck value is less than 10,000, he will become a supporting role and can open the killing line. Can't kill him now. Yes, but there will be a small probability of unknown events. What event? The system is not clear. Maybe it is a breakthrough in the battle, maybe it is the arrival of a great power, maybe it is a lot of strange phenomena. Okay, there is not much anyway, I guess I can kill him as long as I capture my baby Jingqi. Chen Xuan had long intended to kill Qin Feng, even if Qin Feng's luck value could be increased, and he could treat Qin Feng like a leek and cut him every now and then, he still wanted to kill Qin Feng, the ungrateful guy. On the other hand, Zhao Tianming could be trained well. Qin Feng sighed. No, am I not awake yet? This scene can only happen in dreams, right? He said to himself, how could his goddess Zhou Jingqi be like this with Chen Xuan? Although he fainted after fighting with Zhao Tianming that day, he was still very clear about what happened afterwards. Chen Xuan, that guy, clearly pointed at his goddess and lectured her. She was already very good-tempered if she didn't hate him. How could she hold hands with Chen Xuan so sweetly? He was puzzled and gave himself a few big snorts. It's not a dream. But why is this? No, that's not right. The goddess's hand has been shaking, which means she doesn't want to be with Chen Xuan. She doesn't want to. Someone must have put pressure on her to do this. No, I want to save the goddess, she should be with me. Anyway, I am now a half-step golden elixir, so I may not be able to fight him, that when he was in the late stage of foundation building, he could already defeat Wang Teng, who was in the early stage of golden elixir. Now he is even stronger, so he may not be able to defeat Chen Xuan. Thinking of this, Qin Feng jumped out directly. Chapter 83. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chen Xuan, release your claws. Qin Feng shouted, Chen Xuan, yo, Zhou Jingqi, Zhou Jingyi, oh, looking at Qin Feng who suddenly appeared in front of him, Chen Xuan smiled. No wonder he got the destiny value, it turned out that Qin Feng was on the scene. What did you say? I said, release your dog claws, my goddess, you can't touch it. Qin Feng repeated. You mean, let me release this? Chen Xuan raised his and Zhou Jingqi's hands high and shook them in front of Qin Feng like a show-off. Ah. If you don't want to die, let go. Qin Feng slapped the storage bag and instantly took out a Xian-level long sword. His natal spirit treasure had been destroyed by that abominable Duanda, and this one had not been completely sacrificed. You are called Qin Feng, right? How did you appear here? Zhou Jingqi suddenly said. Goddess, she remembers me. She must have seen that I could save her, and hinted that I should deal with Chen Xuan. Qin Feng was extremely excited, and a smile appeared on his face instantly. Goddess, don't worry, with me here, no one can bully you. Qin Feng said, pointing the long sword in his hand at Chen Xuan. Bully? Chen Xuan laughed dumbly, and pulled Zhou Jingqi into his arms. Jingqi, do you think I will bully you? Ah. Zhou Jingqi was stunned. It's really hard to say, just now you were to me. Zhou Jingqi said with a red face. Seeing such a scene, Qin Feng was stunned. Chen Xuan. I will never reconcile with you. How dare you really do that to her? Qin Feng didn't finish his angry words, and slashed at Chen Xuan with his sword. Seeing this, Zhou Jingqi immediately broke free from Chen Xuan's arms, summoned her own lifelong spiritual treasure, took this move, and then secretly got angry in her heart. How can Chen Xuan be so arrogant? Now that you are weak, don't let this Qin Feng become emotionally unstable. If he goes crazy, you will be the one who suffers. I have to protect you. After catching Qin Feng's attack, Zhou Jingqi used sword moves again to force him back. What do you want to do? Facing Qin Feng, she looked cold. I rescued you, the goddess. Why do I need you to rescue me? No, who is harming me? Zhou Jingqi was puzzled. It's Chen Xuan. No, he didn't coerce you and bully you. Bully? He bullies me for fun. What's it to you? That's right, Jingqi and I are a perfect match. How can you, a monster, make comments? Chen Xuan added appropriately. Ding, the son of luck. Qin Feng's mentality exploded. Reward luck value 500. Damn it. Qin Feng gritted his teeth. Goddess, he is lying to you. He just pulled you and forced you to do something. Zhou Jingqi heard this, her face sank. Qin Feng, please be careful with your words. Chen Xuan is my honored guest. Whatever he does is his freedom. It's not your turn to point fingers. Qin Feng widened his eyes and looked at Zhou Jingqi in disbelief, as if he had heard something incredible. Goddess Jingqi, what did you say? You, how can you? Zhou Jingqi looked at Qin Feng coldly. I say, please don't come here to harass us again. If it weren't for you being Senior Han's apprentice, I would have regarded you as an enemy. Zhou Jingqi frowned, a trace of disgust flashed in her eyes. You. Qin Feng was stunned in place, his face pale, his eyes full of despair. What could be more despairing than your beloved rejecting you in person and being with your enemy? I don't care how you got into my royal secret realm. If you leave now, I can forgive you. Otherwise, even Xianyang's sect can't protect you. That's right. Jingqi and I still have something very important to do. This is a major event in our lives. By then, I will completely own my princess. Chen Xuan continued to show off in front of Qin Feng as a winner. Ding, the son of luck. Qin Feng is close to a mental breakdown. Reward the host with 250 luck points. TSK, it seems that this guy really has nothing. He is so angry, but he only gives me 250. It's really a waste of my expectations. Say less. What good will it do you to keep angering him like this? Zhou Jingqi frowned. Are you caring about me? Chen Xuan approached and pinched Zhou Jingqi's chin. Hate it. Jingyi is still here. It's okay, it's okay. We are one family, so why are we talking so much? No, this is not true. This must not be true. Looking at the sweet couple in front of him, Qin Feng finally broke down. Why? Why is it that Chen Xuan always goes against me? In the sect, all the senior sisters, junior sisters, masters, and uncles are good to him, and he takes all the limelight. He even pretends to care about me. The most disgusting thing is that I have already crippled him and brought him home, but he can still disgust me everywhere. The thing he regrets most now is that he failed to kill Chen Xuan. Qin Feng suddenly roared, waving the long sword in his hand, and a series of sharp sword energy passed Zhou Jingqi and slashed towards Chen Xuan. Oh, I haven't taken action for a long time, and I just feel itchy. Chen Xuan sneered and punched out, shattering all the sword energy. He watched the battle between Qin Feng and Zhao Tianming that day, and felt that he could easily resolve the moves between the two of them. I really don't know what kind of spiritual root the system gave me, even his own perception can be strengthened. Good son, you should be more sober. Jingqi has made it very clear. You are just a passerby. Why bother her? Chen Xuan, shut up. Qin Feng looked at Chen Xuan with red eyes. It's all because of you. If it weren't for you, Jingqi would never treat me like this. Qin Feng, stop talking nonsense. It has nothing to do with Chen Xuan. This is all my own choice. Okay, very good. Qin Feng suddenly laughed. In that case, don't blame me for being rude. After that, he rushed towards Chen Xuan with a long sword in hand. Your opponent is me. Zhou Jingqi shouted, trying to stop Qin Feng, but was stopped by Chen Xuan. Jingqi, let me handle it. I happen to be very free recently. I will let him know why the flowers are so red. Chen Xuan said with a smile, and then greeted Qin Feng. Chen Xuan, die. Qin Feng roared, and the long sword with a sharp sword energy pointed directly at Chen Xuan's chest. Chen Xuan was not in a hurry. He took out a long sword from the system space and easily blocked Qin Feng's attack. Is this all you can do? Chen Xuan said disdainfully. Chapter 84. You are listening at novelfull.audio. That's all you can do. Humph, that was just a warm-up. Next, it's time for the real show. Qin Feng snorted coldly, swung the long sword in his hand, and sword beams flew out, surrounding Chen Xuan. Chen Xuan smiled indifferently, the spiritual power in his body circulated, swung the long sword, and sword beams flew out, shattering all the sword beams. Qin Feng had no expression on his face. With his moves, Chen Xuan, who was a golden elixir, could easily shatter his sword beams. As if seeing Qin Feng's thoughts, Chen Xuan slowly said, I know what you are thinking, but what I want to say is that to deal with a waste like you, I only need to suppress my own cultivation to the initial stage of foundation building. You are the waste. A waste without any spiritual roots. Qin Feng was furious, then he stabbed out with a sword, and the sword beam pointed directly at Chen Xuan's throat like a poisonous snake spitting out its tongue. Chen Xuan's eyes were stern, and he slightly turned his body to avoid the attack. At the same time, the long sword in his hand swept out, forcing Qin Feng to retreat a few steps. Qin Feng's face changed. He didn't expect that Chen Xuan had suppressed his cultivation. He was a person who crushed him in cultivation, but he was still so difficult to deal with. He couldn't get the upper hand for a while, so he began to speed up his attack, one sword faster than another, trying to suppress Chen Xuan with fast attacks, but Chen Xuan was not afraid of danger. He used the long sword in his hand like an arm and finger, and resolved Qin Feng's attacks one by one, and in the process of fighting, he found that he could actually see the flaws in Qin Feng's moves directly, so he held the mentality of giving it a try, and stabbed the long sword in his hand forward suddenly, heading straight for Qin Feng's chest. Qin Feng was shocked and quickly raised his long sword to resist. However, the power of Chen Xuan's sword was too great. Although Qin Feng blocked the blade, he was still knocked back a few steps by the huge impact force, and a trace of blood flowed from the corner of his mouth. Fuck, what on earth did you give me, system? You can see the flaws in his moves. Ding, this is the eye of flaws, not a gift from the system. If it's not given by you, then I didn't have it before. Ding, please check it yourself. I say, can you do it, big boy? If you really can't, kneel down and kowtow to me, and your plan to kill me will be over. Without looking at Qin Feng who was vomiting blood, Chen Xuan continued to taunt. No, I can't go on like this, I must get rid of him as soon as possible. Looking at the arrogant Chen Xuan, Qin Feng was angry and furious. He took a deep breath, adjusted his breathing, and then urged the spiritual power in his body to prepare to perform a killing move. Qin Feng shouted, and the long sword in his hand burst into a dazzling light, and then a huge sword energy gushed out from the tip of his sword, pointing directly at Chen Xuan. Chen Xuan was not afraid at all. The long sword in his hand also burst into a dazzling light. Then, a huge sword energy gushed out from the tip of his sword, facing Qin Feng's sword energy. Boom! The sword energy and the sword energy collided with each other, making a deafening sound. The strong air wave swept the whole place. Zhou Jingqi appeared in front of her sister, waved her hand, and dissolved the air wave, and then continued to watch the battle. She didn't expect that Chen Xuan could hide his shortcomings so well. The outside world said that he was a waste without cultivation, but she didn't expect that it was all disguised. It seems that he should be a golden elixir. If that's the case, I might as well. Thinking of this, the girl's delicate face blushed, which was very cute. The smoke and dust dissipated, and the two took a few steps back, both showing solemn expressions. In this collision, neither of them took advantage, and they were evenly matched. Qin Feng's breath was disordered, staring at Chen Xuan, as if facing a great enemy. Chen Xuan was also sighing that he really deserved to be the protagonist. He was able to find his own flaws and correct them in a very short time, and barely tied with himself. Although he was in the early stage of foundation building, he was perfect. Qin Feng gritted his teeth and raised his sword again, ready to continue attacking. However, at this moment, he suddenly felt dizzy and the spiritual power in his body began to become disordered. No, the previous attack consumed too much, I'm almost at my limit. Qin Feng secretly complained in his heart. He knew that if he continued to fight, he would definitely lose to Chen Xuan. Raising the sword but not attacking, isn't it just waiting for me to attack you? However, at this moment, Chen Xuan took the initiative to attack. He waved the long sword in his hand, and a series of sword energy flew out, forcing Qin Feng to retreat step by step, without any power to fight back. Damn, it seems that I can only use that trick. Qin Feng gritted his teeth, and the long sword in his hand burst into a dazzling light, and a terrifying breath burst out from him. A shocking sword, Qin Feng shouted loudly, and the long sword in his hand slashed towards Chen Xuan with the force of splitting mountains and splitting rocks. This sword was the strongest attack he could perform at present. Even a cultivator in the early stage of the Golden Core would not dare to take it head-on. Chen Xuan's face changed slightly. He knew the power of this sword and did not dare to be careless. He immediately used his unique skills. Shrink the earth into an inch. 9-layered wave slash. Chen Xuan shouted loudly, and the long sword in his hand slashed 9 times in succession. The 9 sword beams gathered into a huge sword shadow, facing Qin Feng's shocking sword. Boom! The sword shadow and the sword beam collided with each other, making a loud sound that shook the earth. The terrifying energy storm swept out, blowing away all the surrounding trees, and the earth was torn into cracks. Chen Xuan and Qin Feng retreated at the same time, each retreating dozens of meters before stabilizing their bodies. Qin Feng was shocked. He never thought that the sword he had used was caught by Chen Xuan, who was only in the early stage of foundation building. You know, this is a sword that Wang Ting couldn't resist. Damn, how can this guy be so strong? He was obviously not like this when he was in Xianyang sect. Qin Feng was shocked. He had tried his best, but still couldn't defeat Chen Xuan, which made him unacceptable. Chen Xuan was not surprised at all. He had already known all the information about Qin Feng. He had a countermeasure for every move of his. Qin Feng, if this is all you have, I am very disappointed. And you have lost your only chance. Chen Xuan's eyes were full of disdain. Qin Feng's face turned pale when he heard this. He clenched the long sword in his hand, and his eyes were full of murderous intent. Chen Xuan. Why? Why do you always destroy everything I deserve in front of me? What you deserve? Chen Xuan narrowed his eyes, walked to Zhou Jingqi's side, and took the beauty into his arms. Jingqi, tell me, whose wife are you? Chapter 85. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Zhou Jingqi blushed and dared not look directly at Chen Xuan. However, Chen Xuan pinched her chin and forced her to look him in the eye. His eyes could not be rejected. I am your wife. After saying this, she seemed to have used up all her strength, fell softly into Chen Xuan's arms, and buried her face in his chest, not daring to see anyone, especially her sister. Did you see it? Zhou Jingqi. What's so good about Chen Xuan? Why do you treat me like this? Qin Feng collapsed and shouted. I don't know you at all, please don't bother me and Chen Xuan anymore. Zhou Jingqi hugged Chen Xuan and looked at Qin Feng coldly. He's lying to you, he's lying to you. Enough. Chen Xuan sneered, Qin Feng, you're too self-righteous, do you think I really don't know what you did in secret? Qin Feng was stunned, a trace of panic flashed in his eyes, what do you mean? Chen Xuan looked at Qin Feng and said coldly, from the beginning, I knew the skills you practiced and everything you did to me. Do you think your poor acting skills can hide it from me? Qin Feng's face changed, and he opened his mouth, but he didn't say anything. After the incident, I didn't want to bother with you, after all, you introduced my Shui Yao to me. Chen Xuan said lightly. But you challenged my bottom line again and again, so do you really think I will accommodate you again and again? Qin Feng became furious again when he heard Lin Shui Yao's name, but he endured it, he is now at his wit's end, and he is no match for Chen Xuan anyway. So, he must endure. Brother, I was wrong before. Please forgive me this time. Qin Feng knelt down directly, intending to get by this time. After all, Chen Xuan had forgiven him too many times, and he should forgive him this time as well. Seeing this, Chen Xuan was not in a hurry, Qin Feng would have the last bit of luck, and as long as he wore it off before taking action, there would be no accidents. Do you know, your fiancée Lu Yanxin? Yanxin? What happened to her? Qin Feng was horrified, the defeat with Zhou Jingqi had already hit him hard. Now Lu Yanxin was the last holy place in his heart, the white moonlight. He didn't expect Chen Xuan to mention her. What happened to her? She's very smooth. Just like Jingqi. After saying that, he took a deep breath of Zhou Jingqi in front of Qin Feng. No. You're not telling the truth. Yanxin can't do that. She will never do that. Nothing is impossible. Chen Xuan said lightly, he took out a necklace from somewhere. I don't know if you are familiar with this. This is the love token I gave to Yanxin, why is it in your hands? What did you do to her? I said, she is really smooth. And, we are often in front of this necklace, just like you are there, ha 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 ha. Chen Xuan showed a villain smile. No, shut up. I don't believe it, what you said is not true. Qin Feng burst into tears. Ding, the son of luck Qin Feng has completely collapsed, has fallen out of the ranks of the sons of luck, and entered the killing line. Reward for 3,000 destiny points, 5 years of cultivation. In an instant, Chen Xuan exhaled a breath of turbid air, feeling that his whole body was full of strength. The 4th level of foundation building, not bad. After Yanxin and the others have children, I guess I can make another push. Puff. Qin Feng instantly knelt on one knee, spit out a mouthful of blood with golden spots, and his breath instantly wilted. After saying that, Chen Xuan's eyes turned cold, and he looked at Qin Feng, with a murderous look in his eyes. Then he held a long knife and walked towards Qin Feng step by step. Qin Feng looked at Chen Xuan who was gradually approaching, and an inexplicable fear rose in his heart. You want to kill me? Have you asked Master? No. Don't kill me. Qin Feng exclaimed, I was wrong. Please let me go. Chen Xuan, Fairy Han. Zhou Jingqi was also a little worried, afraid that Chen Xuan would really kill Qin Feng and would attract Han Wanqing's punishment. No problem, Master, I have my own explanation. Now, it's best to get rid of you, this trouble. As he said, he continued to walk towards Qin Feng. No, I absolutely can't die, I want to survive. Qin Feng was furious, and slapped the storage bag, and threw the weapons, poisons and other things in it in front of Chen Xuan without any cost, even some secret manuals of martial arts were thrown over. But they were all blocked by Chen Xuan's casual swing of the knife, but Chen Xuan still chose to keep his some skills. What if there are some plug-in-like things? No, don't kill me. I can be your slave. Spare my life. Qin Feng began to beg for mercy, but Chen Xuan was unmoved, holding the knife and continued to move forward, carrying the fear beyond death. You forced me to do this. Qin Feng roared, and his whole body swelled up rapidly. Chen Xuan, retreat quickly, he is going to self-destruct. Seeing this, Zhou Jingqi immediately took Zhou Jingyi to a safe area, then rushed to Chen Xuan, pulled him and ran, and at the same time released all his spiritual power to form a spiritual shield in front of him. However, it was too late. Qin Feng's momentum became stronger and stronger, and the whole person swelled like a ball. Ha ha ha, Chen Xuan, let's die together. Qin Feng laughed wildly, his eyes full of despair and anger, at the same time with nostalgia for this world, but Chen Xuan was unusually calm. You must explode, or I won't leave. He took out a bead and threw it directly at Qin Feng. The bead was the thunder and fire bead. It's you, so that Taoist priest is you. You are not a Jindan cultivator at all, you have been. Boom. As Chen Xuan's thunder and fire bead exploded, he quickly hugged Zhou Jingqi, then used the shrinking earth into an inch and rushed towards the direction where Zhou Jingyi was. Boom. With a loud bang, as Chen Xuan threw out the powerful thunder and fire bead to interfere, Qin Feng couldn't interrupt the self-explosion, and could only helplessly watch his body grow bigger and bigger. He really didn't expect that Chen Xuan saw through him completely. He wanted to fake a self-explosion, deceive Chen Xuan and others, and then leave this place quickly, but he didn't expect that Chen Xuan would directly send a big bomb to him. In the last second before death, he finally began to regret. However, he did not regret what he did, but regretted why he failed to kill Chen Xuan. I hate it so much. Boom. Qin Feng finally exploded, and the huge energy generated turned everything around into dust. A huge pit appeared on the ground, and smoke and dust filled the air. P.S. I wanted to close Qin Feng's 5 senses and pull Lin Shuiyao, not Lin Yutong, out to play, but was stopped by Emperor Shenhe. Chapter 86. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chen Xuan and Zhou Jingqi were far from the center of the explosion and were not hit too hard, but they were still affected by the aftermath of the explosion, and their blood and qi were surging. Zhou Jingyi was even worse, her face was pale and her breath was disordered. Chen Xuan hugged her in time, fed her a pill, and injected a stream of spiritual power to help her stabilize her body. Jingyi, are you okay? Chen Xuan asked with concern. Zhou Jingyi shook her head, held Chen Xuan's big hand, and said, It's okay, fortunately you are here. Chen Xuan smiled slightly and said, Well, it's good that you are okay. Jingqi, you should send Jingyi back to rest first. I am still a little worried. And there is such a big commotion here. I believe Fairy Lin will arrive soon. I don't want her to misunderstand you. My master will not misunderstand me. Zhou Jingqi was interrupted by Chen Xuan before she finished speaking. Be obedient. Oh, I know. After saying that, she pulled her sister and left the scene. Chen Xuan watched the two women leave and was relieved. You are not afraid of your master's misunderstanding, but I am. If she really knew that I also attacked you, I would definitely not survive today. Ding, congratulations to the host for killing the original Son of Destiny. Reward, 30,000 destiny points, 1 physical upgrade, 10 lottery opportunities, a random heavenly weapon, a piece of Qilin blood jade, and 3 small realms of cultivation. Cultivation will no longer be suppressed during the foundation building period. In addition, for every 1,000 destiny points obtained in the future, the system reward will give the host 1 more lottery opportunity. Not including the killing reward. As soon as the system finished speaking, Chen Xuan trembled all over, and then exhaled a breath of turbid air, and his cultivation soared to the 7th level of foundation building. Fuck, I'm rich. I've never been so rich before. I didn't expect that killing the protagonist would give me so much reward. Now I really want to meet my good nephew Tianming. Chen Xuan couldn't stop smiling. By the way, what is that Qilin blood jade? Chen Xuan flipped through the system space and took out a piece of jade. Ding, it's just a piece of jade condensed with the blood of the unicorn. The wearer can gain a small amount of strength and recovery speed. The blood of the unicorn can also be absorbed. Once absorbed, the effect of the jade disappears. However, with the host's current strength, it will explode and die directly after contact. I hope the host will use it with caution. I can only say that it's tasteless to eat, but it's a pity to throw it away. Forget it, where is the heavenly weapon? Why is it not in the system space? Randomly drawing, please wait. Ding, congratulations to the host for drawing the lower grade spiritual sword of the heavenly rank, the burning heaven holy sword. A divine sword with endless flame power. Compared with the strange fire, which one is more powerful? No one below the 15th place on the strange fire list is as powerful as this sword. Oh, so it seems that it is not very strong. Chen Xuan lost his enthusiasm instantly. This sword is the best in the entire Shanghai realm. Okay, I've heard from my wife that this Shanghai realm is originally a subordinate world, not a real world of immortal cultivation. As long as someone breaks through to the God transformation realm, they will directly ascend to it. And this sword, what is called the burning heaven holy sword, it always sounds weird, why not change the name to thunder and fire sword? Well, while I'm in a good mood now, start the lottery for me. Excuse me, does the host want to draw a single draw, 5 consecutive draws, or 10 consecutive draws? Single draw, single draw, single draw, miracle. After Chen Xuan finished speaking, a lottery panel and button instantly appeared in front of him, waiting for him to start the lottery. Oh, it also makes me feel a little involved. Tongzi, you always come up with some new tricks for me. Chu Yunfian, Bushi. Let me draw. Chen Xuan quickly pressed the single draw button. Congratulations to the host for winning the Valkyrie fragment. Collect 10 pieces to exchange for a random Valkyrie. It is now available in the system mall, and the host can also purchase it by himself. Damn, this is a good thing. Who are the Valkyries? Sorry, I can't tell you about this. Okay, keep drawing for me. Thank you for your patronage. Thank you for your patronage. Thank you. After 4 consecutive draws, Chen Xuan didn't draw anything. Damn, there are still 5 chances, just draw 5 times in a row. Congratulations to the host for winning the disposable item, the magic flashlight. Flashlight? What's the use of this thing? Ding, this flashlight is not an ordinary flashlight. This one doesn't require batteries or solar energy. It will light up when there is light. What if there is no light? Definitely not. What if there is no light? It does light up. Hee, I remembered this thing. Are you playing with me here? Do you have a magical watch with a QR code on it? You can know the time by just taking out your phone and scanning the QR code. Gentlemen can write interesting things like this, and I will adopt them. No, I don't have a phone. I'm really confused by your system. This thing is an enhanced version. Please explore the specific functions by yourself. You come to explore disposable items for me. I touch it and it's gone. Will you compensate me? Chen Xuan was angry. No, it seems that I have no use for this thing. Forget it, this is more or less an item from my hometown, so I'll keep it as a decoration. After speaking, Chen Xuan shook his head and walked straight towards the pit where Qin Feng blew himself up. At this time, a figure in white had appeared there. Yunhan. The figure trembled, and then raised his fist fiercely. I told you not to call me Yunhan, I'll beat you if you do. It's okay, I'm willing to be beaten without you. You don't know, I almost died just now. Chen Xuan smiled and wanted to give Lin Yunhan a big hug, but was dodged by the beauty. Humph, die, it's best to die, so you don't have to harm others. Then Yunhan, do you want to sacrifice yourself and come to personally supervise me so that I don't harm others? Bah, you wish, wait for Wanqing to come back, and see how I let her deal with you. Now tell me, what's going on? She pointed to the huge pit under her feet. Chen Xuan smiled and roughly recounted what happened just now, but hid some things. After listening to it, Lin Yunhan had a trace of worry and fear on her face. I didn't expect that Qin Feng would be such a beast. He has always been polite in front of me and Wanqing, but I didn't expect him to be like this. You can't know a person's heart by his appearance. No matter how powerful he is, I still solve him in the end. But you actually hid your cultivation. Lin Yunhan frowned and grabbed Chen Xuan's ear directly. Chapter 87. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Hiss. Ouch, it hurts, Yunhan, be gentle. Chen Xuan took the opportunity to quickly grab Lin Yunhan's jade hand. Let go. I won't. Will you let go? If you kiss me. Boom. Before Chen Xuan finished speaking, he flew out. You don't listen to me when I talk to you nicely, and you insist on asking me to do it. Lin Yunhan clapped his hands and looked at Chen Xuan provocatively. Chen Xuan stood up, rubbed his buttocks, and walked in front of Lin Yunhan again. Yunhan, you are trying to murder your husband, you are so cruel. Bah, if you keep talking nonsense, I will really beat you up. Lin Yunhan's face turned red instantly. I won't say it anymore, I won't say it anymore. Then let's go, I'll go see how Jingyi is doing. After saying that, she wanted to leave. Chen Xuan looked at the place again, and after finding that everything was blown up, he also left the scene. I still haven't seen the technique that devours other people's spiritual roots. I'll look for it in Xianyang sect later. This kind of evil technique is too easy to make some people who are not as good as the protagonist rise. It's better not to exist. Hey, Yunhan, wait for me, let's go together. Above the world of immortal cultivation, the world of immortals, also known as Daoyuotian, is the realm reached by countless immortal cultivators or people from other worlds after ascending. In a prosperous holy land with immortal air, jade buildings and fairyland, there is a magnificent immortal king's mansion called Reincarnation Immortal King's Manor. The Reincarnation Immortal King's Manor is located in the eastern part of the immortal world, covering a vast area, like a small city. The mansion is surrounded by clouds and mist, and shrouded in colorful clouds, with magnificent momentum. Entering the gate of the mansion, the first thing that comes into view is a wide stone road, with fairy grass and exotic flowers planted on both sides of the road, releasing a refreshing fragrance. At the end of the stone road, there is a huge square. In the center of the square stands a majestic dragon-patterned stone pillar, on which ancient runes are carved, highlighting the noble status of the immortal king's palace. The square is even more lively, with children from various families or core members of some immortal gates and holy places coming to worship their ancestors and guard their soul lamps. However, at this moment, the whole square is in chaos. No. No. The reincarnation soul lamp of Chen Xuan is extinguished. As soon as these words came out, it was like a bolt from the blue, and everyone was stunned. What? Don't tease me, how is this possible? That's right, that's Chen Xuan. Even if he was forced to enter the reincarnation because of the ancient war, he still has great luck. How could the soul lamp go out? I would rather believe that there is something wrong with the soul lamp than believe that the Xianwang is dead. Yes, our Xianjie has taken over countless worlds, and there has never been news of the death of the Xianwang. This is simply a fairy tale. Everyone has different opinions. The reincarnation soul lamp is a special magic weapon in the Xianjie, used to detect the reincarnation of the Xianwang who ascended to the Xianjie. Once the soul lamp goes out, it means that the reincarnation of the Xianwang in the mortal world has met with an unexpected event. As a well-known Xianwang in the Xianjie, Chen Xuan has unfathomable strength and a very respected status. Although he was beaten by a strange man in the ancient war and forced into reincarnation, his own strength cannot be denied. And now, his reincarnation soul lamp has gone out. This will undoubtedly cause a great uproar in the entire fairy world. For a time, people in the square talked a lot, some were panicked, and some looked unbelieving. However, it is a fact that Chen Xuan's reincarnation soul lamp has gone out. In any case, this will undoubtedly be a major event that will shake the fairy world. Representatives of various forces rushed to the center of the square to witness the extinguished soul lamp with their own eyes and confirm the authenticity of the news. For a time, there were cries of grief in the square and many opinions. I still don't believe it. How can this be possible? Chen Xuan is a strong man at the level of the fairy king. Who can kill him? A saint of the fairy gate couldn't believe his eyes. Is there an enemy in the fairy world who secretly planned all this? Another child of aristocratic family guessed, just as everyone was talking about it, a dazzling fairy light fell from the sky and landed in the center of the square. Everyone's eyes flashed, and they saw a white-haired old man appear in front of them. The supreme pressure he exuded made everyone present tremble. "Meet Mr. Chen." Everyone saluted. The visitor was Mr. Chen, the personal guard of the Chen Xuan. Mr. Chen looked solemn and said nothing. He swept his eyes over the people on the square. Finally, his eyes stopped on the extinguished soul lamp, and he couldn't help but sigh. Alas, the old man, the Xuan, has indeed fallen. Mr. Chen's words were like a bolt from the blue, shocking everyone. The soul lamp in the immortal king's palace is a magic weapon connected to the law of reincarnation. It can connect to the immortal king's true spirit. Now it is extinguished. The immortal king is probably. Alas! Who can kill the immortal King Chen? Someone asked bravely. Old Chen shook his head and said, "The immortal king's coming to the world to experience the tribulation this time is a secret of heaven. We don't know where it is. But everyone just needs to remember that although the immortal king has fallen, the reputation of the Chen immortal king's palace cannot be shaken." After speaking, old Chen waved his sleeves, and a powerful force swept across the square, sending the Chen family's descendants away from the immortal king's palace. "Old Chen, can we really only watch like this? What else do you want to do? We don't even know where the immortal King Chen is reincarnated. How can we avenge him? Or do you want to find that mysterious man to take revenge?" "Ah, forget it." The junior shrank his head. In the ancient times, the man who appeared inexplicably beat Chen Xuan to death with his bare hands. The Xuan was not his opponent, so how could he take revenge? "When we return, we will seal the clan until my Chen family has another genius with extraordinary talent comparable to the Xuan." Yes. Looking at the young generation in front of him without saying anything, old Chen also sighed. He was a witness when Chen Xuan Chen Feng died. He still remembered the young face clearly, especially the sentence, "What the hell is the Xuan, I am beating you Xuan. And those surnamed Zhao and surnamed Tang, come and die." On that day, countless Xuan died, but the Xuan he mentioned died particularly miserably. There was no Samsara Xuan mansion in the fairy world, but after that day, there was Samsara Xuan mansion, Samsara Xuan mansion. I never thought that the immortal king was really dead. Who said it wasn't? Fortunately, it wasn't from our Zhao family. Once the one from the Chen family died, there would be more people coveting him. A disciple from the Zhao family sighed. Chapter 88. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Okay, stop sighing. I see that the soul lamp of your immortal king has been a little weak these days. Maybe he will. What did you say? Are you looking for trouble? How dare you slander my immortal king? Do you want to fight? The disciple surnamed Zhao was immediately furious and said angrily. Fight if you want to, who is afraid of you? We are the disciples of Tang Haishan, how can we be afraid of you? That the other person was more arrogant and directly introduced himself. Tang Haishan. You are from the Tang sect. The Zhao family's son exclaimed. That's right, do you still want to fight with us now? I can seriously answer you what is the way to death. The man was even more arrogant. However, the people of the Zhao family lost their previous arrogance, and they shrank their heads and didn't speak. Although Tang Haishan was also dead, his situation was not quite the same. He also had a lover, the Shura God King. The Azura God King was not dead. She was in seclusion at the time and did not participate in the battle. Fortunately, she escaped. When she came out of seclusion, the fairy world had changed a lot. Fortunately, her lover's power was still there, and she could take care of it. This is also the reason why everyone in the Zhao family dared to be angry but not to speak. He really has a God King, how can you provoke him? Okay, all of you say less. Now that the Chen immortal king has fallen, the Chen family will inevitably begin to be turbulent. What we should think about is how to strengthen our own strength. Another disciple of the immortal king's palace persuaded. That's right, let's send a message quickly and inform the elders of this matter and respond as soon as possible. Everyone nodded. For everyone's sake, we won't pursue it, but you Zhao family, remember to take a detour when you see us in the future. The people of the Tang sect walked up to the front of the Zhao Shizi and patted his face with a very bad attitude. The Zhao Shizi clenched his fists, but he didn't dare to fight back. You Tang sect, wait for me. One day, I will take back everything I lost, one day. Deep in the Azura immortal king's palace. Under the dim palace lanterns, a mysterious room came into view. The room was filled with a faint fragrance, and a woman in a black dress sat there quietly, like a beautiful painting. The woman's name was Ruwu, the owner of the Azura immortal king's palace, known as the Azura immortal king. At this time, the Azura god king gently stroked the hilt of the sword at his waist with his left hand, and between the index and middle fingers of his right hand, there was a blooming black peony. The peony was as black as ink. Rather than a flower, it was more like a blood-poured flower, exuding a dangerous atmosphere. She was wearing a black long dress, which just perfectly outlined her graceful figure. The hem of the skirt gently brushed the ground, like ink flowing in the dark night. Her long hair was like a waterfall, draped over her shoulders, making her cold and elegant. On her fair skin, a pair of cold phoenix eyes flashed with coldness, making people dare not touch them easily, but such a majestic side was completely ruined by her ears. Because she actually had a pair of rabbit ears, a spirit rabbit immortal. Looking at this picture again, you will only feel that this woman is mature, beautiful, and cute. People can't help but want to hold her in their arms and love her. At this time, her eyes were deep, her eyes were fixed on a Daoyuo star plate, and then a smile appeared on her face. Finally found you. Tang Sirui. More than 20 years ago, when Tang Haitian's soul lamp suddenly burst into a dazzling light, she knew that he had been successfully reborn. Then she used the natal spirit treasure that Tang Haitian had deposited in her hands to extract a wisp of his true spirit. After more than 20 years, she successfully located the location of his true body, which was in the lower world, not far from the fairy world. But unfortunately, due to the rules of heaven and earth, she could not reach the lower world, but this did not bother her, as she had already made preparations. She waved her jade hand, and a huge pink rabbit appeared in front of her. However, the rabbit had dull eyes, and it was obvious that only a shell remained. This was her body when she was young. Later, as her cultivation became higher and higher, she collected various supreme spiritual treasures and refined a new body, which is the current body. It seems that this time, I have to accompany you up. After saying this, her soul left her body, cut off a strand of her soul, and injected it into the rabbit's body. In an instant, the giant rabbit's eyes showed a look, and her figure slowly changed, turning into a girl with a ponytail. Her appearance was 90% similar to Ruwu. One was youthful and beautiful, and the other was beautiful and mature. Ruwu looked at the girl in front of her, and a trace of reminiscence flashed in her eyes. The cultivation of the golden immortal is still too high. She stretched out her finger and pointed, and in an instant, the girl's cultivation became the nascent soul stage. A high level of cultivation would put pressure on Tang Sirui. In the past 20 years, he would probably be able to reach the stage of Jindan in cultivation. Who are you? The girl looked at someone who was almost the same as herself, with a hint of doubt in her eyes. I am you. The girl tilted her head, obviously still in a confused state. You don't need to understand, just do what I say. During this period, your memory will slowly recover, and then you will understand everything. Okay, what should I do? The lower world. The secret realm of the Zhou family's royal family. If you pull my hand again, I will be rude. Lin Yunhan's face flushed, and he scolded Chen Xuan. Don't be impatient, I have a question for you. You are not trying to take advantage of me, are you? How is that possible? How could someone like me do such a thing? I know who you are best. Really not, I just want to ask, Yunhan, how long has it been since you improved your cultivation? How long? It's been a while, what's wrong? Why is it stagnant? Lin Yunhan looked at Chen Xuan as if he was a fool. Why do you say that? It must be due to my limited potential. I can't get any treasure that can break through my potential, so this is the only way. But Jingqi's potential is huge, you'd better not try to get her. Ahem, how could that be? I'm devoted to you. But what if Jingqi likes me? You. Lin Yunhan smiled. Who would like you? You are just handsome. What other advantages do you have? Do you need advantages to like someone? Maybe it's just a moment of heartbeat. And, I've said before that I have my own specialties, right? What are your specialties? Secret. You can say it or not. And, why do you ask me about my cultivation? Lin Yunhan was a little impatient. Chen Xuan took out the Qilin blood jade. This is. Qilin blood jade, which contains a drop of Qilin's true blood, is definitely enough for you to break the limit of your potential. What do you mean by this? Nothing, I just feel a little sorry for what happened before, and I want to apologize to you. Chapter 89. You are listening at novelfull.audio. This is too valuable. I can't accept it. Even if you sell me, it's not worth it. You should take it back. Don't let anyone know that you have this. Lin Yunhan took a deep look at the Qilin blood jade, and then turned her head away. She was afraid that she would not be able to resist grabbing it. The thing in Chen Xuan's hand is the future that countless cultivators dream of. No, you deserve it. Chen Xuan took the opportunity to grab her jade hand and stuffed the thing into her. Just think of it as my betrothal gift to you. Lin Yunhan felt even more prickly when he heard it, and asked, does Wanqing know about this? She doesn't know yet. You silly boy. Do you know how good she has been to you over the years, and how long has her cultivation been stuck at the half-step yuanying? You don't leave it to her, but give it to me. What are you thinking? That she felt a little disappointed, but at the same time, she seemed to be a little happy. Of course I have something else with her, you don't have to worry about this. You are just a little foundation building person, and you are lucky enough to get this blood jade, which is already the limit. How could there be anything else? Don't lie to me, I won't want it. And you said it was your betrothal gift, I won't want it, give it to your master. Her face was slightly red. I really have it, but that thing is very secret, I can't tell you. It appeared, the feeling of Chen Xuan crawling all over my body, appeared again. What is it? Didn't you see that I don't want your things, why can't you tell me? This is really inconvenient to say, unless. Unless what? Unless you become my wife, so that I can tell you without concealing it. Mysterious, I don't care. After saying that, she turned her back to Chen Xuan and continued to walk forward. In a place where Chen Xuan couldn't see, she pouted unconsciously. Hey, don't go. If you don't believe me, wait until my master breaks through, and he will prove that what I said is true. Whether it is true or not has anything to do with me. I can't know what it is. When Wanqing comes back, I can just ask her directly. Why do I have to suffer a loss here? She continued to move forward. Chen Xuan looked at Lin Yunhan's back, his mouth corners slightly raised, revealing a barely perceptible smile. He knew that this kind of thing could not be rushed, and he needed to slowly let out a long line to catch a big fish. When Han Wanqing's cultivation broke through, she would definitely be curious and unbearable, and this was the time for him to close the net. Soon, the two rushed to Zhou Jingyi's room, and Chen Xuan stepped forward to check her again, and there was nothing wrong. In the future, when you see someone fighting, you will leave the scene as soon as possible, understand? Lin Yunhan began to scold. Oh, I see. My sister and Chen Xuan were both there at the time, so I didn't think so much. Master, don't be so fierce. It's good that you're okay. This time, you should come back to Hanyu Palace with me. I must supervise your practice. Ah. Zhou Jingyi glanced at Chen Xuan. Can I not go? Didn't you always let me go before? What do you think? Don't think I don't know what you're thinking. Okay, then, when are we leaving? Just these few days. I've wasted a lot of time here. Ah. So soon. Don't stay a little longer. This time it was Chen Xuan who asked. Don't stay a little longer, lest some people keep coming over and affect my apprentice's practice. And I have my own things to do. Lin Yunhan stayed for a while, then took Chen Xuan away, leaving him with her apprentice. She was really worried. Can you please not leave? I haven't seen enough of you. Stop it. As an elder of Hanyu Palace, I naturally have a lot of things to do. I have been here for a long time. And, as for our affairs, you should give up on this idea. There is no possibility between you and me. After saying that, her figure disappeared in front of Chen Xuan, trying to make him give up completely. Just refuse. Why are your hands shaking so much? Are you afraid that I don't know that you are nervous? Chen Xuan complained, then shook his head and turned back to Zhou Jingqi's residence. Why are you here again? Zhou Jingqi looked at Chen Xuan who had returned, feeling a little nervous. Of course I came here to find my wife. I was very reluctant to let her go when I learned that she was about to leave. There are still some things between her and me that have not been dealt with. It's done, go back now. The girl stretched out her hand and pushed him, but was pushed back by Chen Xuan. Hug her. If I say no, then no, right, my lady? Don't get me wrong, I just said that at the time because I didn't want you to lose face, that doesn't count. Chen Xuan smiled at Zhou Jingqi, pinched her face gently, and said, You say it doesn't count? That would be so embarrassing for me. Besides, I really like you, can't you see it? Zhou Jingqi's face flushed, she lowered her head and whispered, Who wants to like you? Chen Xuan couldn't help laughing when he saw Zhou Jingqi's shy look. He hugged her tightly and whispered in her ear, Okay, don't be shy, you are attracted to me, I can feel it from your conscience, right? Zhou Jingqi's face was flushed by Chen Xuan. She gently hit Chen Xuan's chest and said coquettishly, shameless. You know, in my heart, you will always be the woman I love most, and this will never change. Chen Xuan hugged the person in his arms tightly. Zhou Jingqi felt Chen Xuan's strong arms and the words the woman I love most, and a warm current surged in her heart, as if there was a warm current flowing in her heart, making her whole body warm. Then, if I succeed in my cultivation in the future and break through to the god of transformation, I will go to you. Zhou Jingqi said softly. That's not necessary, because I will break through before you. Chen Xuan replied with a smile. Arrogant, I will definitely not let you surpass me. What if I surpass you? Then I will. Looking at the cute and innocent girl, Chen Xuan couldn't help it, and immediately leaned down to taste it alone. Zhou Jingqi was startled by Chen Xuan's sudden action, but she quickly responded to Chen Xuan's enthusiasm. The two hugged each other, as if forgetting everything around them. Chapter 90. You are listening at novelfull.audio. After a long while, they slowly separated. Zhou Jingqi's cheeks were flushed, and she looked at Chen Xuan with tenderness in her eyes. You are so bad. Zhou Jingqi whispered. Chen Xuan laughed and said, I just like to bully you, what do you think? I won't pay attention to you. Zhou Jingqi turned around and pretended to be angry. Seeing this, Chen Xuan hurriedly chased after her and hugged her from behind. He whispered, Okay, don't be angry, I'm just kidding you. Zhou Jingqi was hugged by Chen Xuan, and felt his warm embrace, and a warm current surged in her heart. She turned around and looked at Chen Xuan, with a bright smile on her face. Then, what if I can't break through to the god of transformation? If we can't break through, we won't break through. I will definitely support my wife, so no matter where you are, I must find you. Chen Xuan said firmly. Zhou Jingqi heard this and a brilliant smile bloomed on her face, like a blooming flower, so beautiful that people who saw it were eager to see it. It was still Zhou Jingqi's princess mansion, but Chen Xuan suddenly flew out from it. Fortunately, he reacted quickly and didn't fall to the ground. What are you doing? I just tasted a piece of fruit. Is it necessary to do this? You just threw me out. Is there still a king's law? Is there still law? Get out of here quickly, you big bad guy. Go back to your Zhao family quickly, you only know how to bully us. Zhou Jingqi's angry voice came from the princess mansion, followed by a loud bang of the door closing. Chen Xuan got up from the ground in a mess, patted the dust on his body, smiled helplessly, and walked towards his room. After returning to the room, Chen Xuan sat on the bed, tossing and turning but couldn't enter a state of meditation. Jingqi, this little devil, I just started to taste her, but she woke up. Now it makes me feel uncomfortable. How about I go find Lin Yunhen? No, if I go find her now, she will definitely beat me up, but Han Wanqing is not here. Chen Xuan felt more and more uncomfortable the more he thought about it. Suddenly he clapped his hands. Yes, my rabbit princess is still here, and I haven't cared about her cultivation yet. I must reflect on it and care about her. This time. Fox princess. After saying that, Chen Xuan's figure disappeared in his room. At night, Qi Wangfu, Gao Yuding, who had just broken through in cultivation, was still practicing in her house to consolidate her own cultivation. Suddenly she felt someone enter her room. Gao Yuding was startled and immediately woke up from her meditation. She got up and saw that it was Chen Xuan. You, what are you doing here? To do something. Chen Xuan also looked at Gao Yuding with a smile and said, Little rabbit, you are still practicing so late, you are really working hard. Gao Yuding heard this, a trace of panic flashed across her face, then calmed down and asked, Chen Xuan, you come to see me so late, what's the matter? Chen Xuan smiled and walked to Gao Yuding, who quickly distanced herself from him. However, how could she escape from Chen Xuan's palm? He casually stretched out his hand and hugged her waist. After taking a breath, he said, I don't have anything to do. I just want to care about you and see how your cultivation is. After all, I promised to help you improve your cultivation, so I have to be responsible for this matter. Gao Yuding heard this, a blush appeared on her face, and a warm feeling surged in her heart. She lowered her head and said softly, Thank you for your concern. I have successfully broken through. That's great. I feel relieved to see my rabbit princess break through. Chen Xuan pinched Gao Yuding's little nose. Yes, if there is nothing wrong, you can leave. I guess Zhao Lingwu is worried. Oh. You also know that my wife will be worried? Then why did you dare to tie me up? Chen Xuan certainly would not let go of this piece of meat. I was blinded by the benefits at that time. So, you have caused me great harm, and I think you need to compensate me. Compensation? I have already done this, and you still think it is not enough. Not enough, far from enough. If I really don't have the strength, what will happen to me? I will only become a toy at your mercy, right? Gao Yuding seemed to feel Chen Xuan's determination to win her, her face flushed, and she symbolically struggled to break free, but was hugged tighter by Chen Xuan. She felt a little happy for no reason in her heart, and she was shocked by this reaction. Please respect yourself. Gao Yuding whispered. Then do you think I need your compensation? Chen Xuan looked at Gao Yuding's shy look and felt that it was even cuter. He couldn't help but lower his head and she kissed him on the cheek. Gao Yuding was startled by Chen Xuan's sudden action, and quickly broke free from Chen Xuan's arms, stepped back a few steps, and looked at Chen Xuan with a red face. Whatever you want, just tell me, I can give it to you. Gao Yuding said with a trembling voice. It's very simple. You tied me up, so I will naturally treat you in your own way. It's useless, I'm the princess. Once you really do this, let alone the Zhao family, even the Xianyang sect can't protect you. Chen Xuan smiled, walked to Gao Yuding, stretched out his hand, gently lifted her chin, looked into her eyes, and said. Are you worried about me? Little rabbit. Don't call me a rabbit, I'm not a rabbit. Not a rabbit, then what are you? Little fox. Fox. What does this have to do with foxes? Gao Yuding was stunned. Seeing this, Chen Xuan smiled at the corner of his mouth, lowered his head, and kissed Gao Yuding's red lips. This time, Gao Yuding did not struggle, but slowly closed her eyes and responded to Chen Xuan's love. Just treat it as consolidating my cultivation. After the consolidation is completed, I must drive him away. No words were spoken all night. Soon, Gao Yuding's cultivation was stabilized, and she even felt that her potential seemed to have increased. It seemed that she could break through again just by practicing normally. Okay, it's dawn, you should go back quickly. The next morning, Gao Yuding took the tail and threw it on the ground. Well, it's still early now, sleep a little longer. Hurry up. Gao Yuding stretched out her foot to kick him, but was firmly caught by Chen Xuan. You should also prepare yourself. I've told you that we must not. Pa! I told you to prepare yourself and then cooperate with me to act out a play. Oh, there's nothing wrong with acting out a play, but we agreed last night that you don't have to instruct me in cultivation in the future. Pa! Look at yourself now, don't you want to surpass Xiao Lingwu in cultivation? How is that possible? I'm not stupid, she's your woman, would you be reluctant to help her cultivate? She's just improving her cultivation first, and when her cultivation gets higher and higher in the future, the gap between you will naturally narrow. By then, maybe you can flatten the entire imperial secret realm with one palm. How is that possible? If that's the case, why would I refuse? At this point, Gao Yuding glanced at Chen Xuan and quickly shut up. If she accidentally let the cat out of the bag, Chen Xuan would probably have to serve her. You just can't see that future now. You will know it in the future. Now, play with me. Oh. Gao Yuding stood up immediately. Boo!